Australia has been my home for the past year and 1 month. Australia has made a big impact on my life, especially the people here of Australia. I have visited many places in Australia, especially in Western Australia. Beautiful, beautiful places. I like this country. Beautiful country that God has placed in this part of the world. But unfortunately, the time for me has come to fly back to the US. I would like also to thank many of you here in this beautiful country of Australia, starting with my brothers and sisters in Perth, for the time that we were able to spend together a whole year. And I hope and pray that we will meet again, that God will bring me back, because that is my intention to come back here. I'd like to thank each one of you. My mom over there in Perth, thank you for your love. Thank you for the support, and especially during those months after my injury and surgery, for the love you showed me to help me to recover quickly. I'd like to thank you for that. I'd like to thank all of you here in Sydney, Australia, who came out, and some of you travel 500 kilometers to come, to listen, to study, to congregate, to fellowship together. We want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. I'd like to thank Sister Martine in particular for her help and for everything else. And she is going to be one of our connections here in Australia to help distribute the book Great Controversy. As we are having some billboards up here, she will be responsible to help distribute the book Great Controversy and the book National Sunday Law, and as well as Steps to Christ. For all of you once again who came out to the meeting to support us, we want to thank you. And for all of you, wherever you are in Australia, I have been receiving messages from you in different parts of Australia. I want to thank you once again for your support here. And I intend to come back here as soon as possible, because God, I believe, has raised me up as a missionary to go from one place to another, and that is what I want to do by His grace, by His help, until He comes again. Let me share with you a testimony about my experience here, especially in the past few weeks. As I shared before, I was supposed to fly out to the US. This was back in last month, beginning of last month. And I flew from Perth, Australia to Sydney, Australia. And from here, I was supposed to catch another flight that was going to take me to Los Angeles. And then from there to my next destination. But as I mentioned before, God had another plan. He kept me here in Sydney, Australia for about a month and a few days. This was unexpected, but by the grace of God, we have been able to be used by God here and did some work here. And the other blessing that came with that, and this is an encouragement to many of you out there. As Jesus says in the book of Revelation, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." And that also applies to other things that we may think that are impossible for God to do. Like, for example, you know what has been going on in our world for the past year. Those restrictions that they have imposed, and especially if you are going to fly from one place to another, and especially if that has to do international flight. Well, I have said to the Lord, you know the condition of flying, you know what they are imposing. I don't need to name them. You know exactly what I'm talking about, the conditions to fly. I said, Lord, I do not want to abide by those conditions. If it's your will for me to fly out, then you help me to find a way around those draconian systems. Lo and behold, God opened the way for me to not go by the draconian system. Even the muzzle, God has opened a way for me to fly out without that muzzle. And the Lord has been good, and to Him be all the glory. I asked for signs when it was time. At first, I had found a place where I could do the test without the draconian way. Then, I was still waiting for the Lord to give me approval or open the way for me so I don't have to wear this muzzle. And as I mentioned before, God opens the door. He made the way, or He opened the way for me to be able to do this. And by His grace, I have not been wearing this muzzle ever since this whole crisis started out. Now, let me move on to the US. I have been invited in the state of Texas to share, to break the bread of life with others there, with God's people. And we would like to invite you for a full day of revival and reformation. Brother Andy and I from Advent Messenger, we will be meeting there together. We will have a full day worshiping the Lord, studying His Word at the following. The title for the revival and reformation there will be Watch and Be Ready. Saturday, that would be Sabbath, March 20th, 2021. This is, one more time, an all-day event starting at 9:30 sharp. Lunch will be provided, and the speakers are going to be myself and Brother Andy. Brother Andy will begin the service with Sabbath school lesson around 9:30. Then I will be speaking for the divine worship hour starting at 11. Brother Andy comes back again at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I will be back again by God's grace to deliver another message. And the address for that specific location there is Iglesia Adventista del Séptimo Día, Libre, Philadelphia, 1501 S Center Street, Arlington, Texas 76010. And for more information, you can either contact me or Brother Andy Roman, or the number on the screen there, which would be 817-714-1561. That would be Pastor Raul Zambrano. We are looking forward to see you there in the state of Texas, Arlington, Texas, to be more precise. This coming Sabbath, the 20th, by God's grace, we will be studying about revival and reformation. We are looking forward to congregate together with you. We are looking forward to break the bread of life with you. We are looking forward to even break the physical food, physical bread with you. We are looking forward to fellowship with you in spirit and in truth. May God richly bless you, and we will see you there by His grace.